Oh, do earnings continue to support 28 times forward? Is there multiple expansion? I mean, where does the stock go from here and why?
Revenue growth. I mean, sometimes the market gets it right, Scott. The rotation into these mega cap technology names over the last 6 weeks was confirmed. Last evening was nothing short of spectacular in terms of not only mega cap technology, but a lot of other names that we're going to talk about in this show. So you hit on the revenue growth. You hit on the fact that Alphabet's revenue growth was above 60%. Think about that quarter. Microsoft's revenue growth, we were talking about maybe double digits, above 20%. So it is about continued revenue growth. And I think what's interesting about this was we really believed in Q3 and Q4 of 2020 that growth was going to begin to decelerate for mega cap technology as you moved out of the pandemic. That's just not the case. It's actually accelerating even further. And there's been this paradigm shift because of the pandemic that the adoption and the usage of these mega cap technology names is increasing even more. So I share the positive sentiments of everyone so far, and I think it'll continue with Facebook tonight.
I'll give you one more stat, which is just astounding when talking about all three of these companies. Apple, Google, Microsoft see combined after-tax profits of $57 billion in Q2, nearly double the year earlier period and 30% above expectations. But, Joe, I mean, are you suggesting that any dip in any of these stocks is an opportunity to buy? Is that what you're saying?
Tell me when it wasn't. Absolutely. Of course it is. These are companies where you're going to achieve the type of revenue growth that you're not going to be able to witness anywhere else in the S&P 500. Their revenue growth exceeds over 70% of the entire S&P 500. 70% of the S&P 500, you can't find this type of revenue growth. So, yes, without question, any dip is an opportunity in these names.
But what happens, Pete, if the revenue growth can't continue at this current pace? I mean, that's no knock. Look at the numbers, right? So if you knock the cover off the ball this quarter, but you hit, like, for the cycle the next, you don't have a few grand slams loaded in there too. Is that a problem? So what?
But Scott,
then you
you're
do
talking
have a problem,
about
Scott,
so just to think.
Hold on, Court. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Pete, then Court.
Okay, so what I think, Scott, is exactly what you're saying. But are we projecting that? Is that something that we see coming forward? When you listen to somebody like Katie Huberty over at Morgan Stanley and her piece long before the Apple earnings, she talked about 5G and the growth that they've got there, and obviously the margin growth that they've got as well. So there is something going forward where we can see this cycle continuing. Now, when it slows down, to your point, yeah, then that's going to be an issue because we look at the multiples a lot more closely if we start to see any kind of a slowdown. We haven't seen that.
It can't go up at this. Wait. Pete, it can't go up at this pace forever.
What?
I mean, you're not going to do. You cannot do these revenue growth numbers forever. I mean, but my point is, so what?
Not forever.
I mean, do you have to be stratospheric forever? I mean, are you kidding me? 62% year-on-year revenue growth for Alphabet. So if it's 57, we're going to suggest that the stock is all of a sudden overvalued? Are we going to do that?
When they start slowing down, Scott, that's when people do start to get a little bit nervous and they start to wonder, am I holding this too long? I'm not saying that everybody's going to run for the shore, but I think the reality is that when we start to see those slowdowns, we've seen it in the past when we've had great numbers from specific companies, and then we start to see that slowdown, then people start to jump off the ship. But we don't project that right now. We continue to see what would be another couple of quarters at least going into the future. And so while we've got that, yes, these stocks are going to continue, I think, to move in that same direction to the upside.